Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be looking at the MechaGodzilla featuring Evangelion Unit 1 paint job from the 7-Eleven promotion where there was only about 4,000 of these made, and they were as a promotion to sell Shin Godzilla tickets basically, and you bought a ticket and you got one of these. You could get one of these as well, and like I said, there was only 4,000 of these made. I just got mine in today. I'm super excited because I love Neon Genesis Evangelion, and MechaGodzilla 3 or Kiryu is my favorite MechaGodzilla, one of my favorite kaiju of all times. And this is basically the figure itself is a remold from the old 6-inch Movie Monster series MechaGodzilla from 2004, where he had a spear arm, and now they just reissued it where he has not a spear arm, but he has like an actual hand, and this is a repaint of that specific figure to look like Eva Unit 1, which the director of new Shin Godzilla is the creator of that franchise, Neon Genesis Evangelion. If you guys haven't watched it, go check it out so you know what I'm talking about. But to start this out, we'll just take a look at the box it comes in. It's a pretty plain box. It's just a cardboard box, and you get this sticker with the Shin Godzilla on there, the release date, and then everything this says with like the original purchase price and things like that. But that's the only thing that's on this box. It's a pretty small box, but that's it. It's cool that it comes with a box though, because Movie Monster series figures don't come with boxes, I guess, unless they're special ones. And then his tag. It has, I'll get it to focus here. So it has Kiryu on it, and he is the paint job like this figure has. He's purple with green and black, with this really cool like spacey purple background. It says MechaGodzilla 2004. Basically, right here it has like the MechaGodzilla featuring Evangelion paint job version, and then the trademark, which has the Eva Unit 1 logo, or the Eva Unit 1 and Godzilla crossover logo right there, which is a pretty cool logo. So this tag is definitely really cool already. The back of it looks like this. It says Movie Monster Series. It has that cutout pattern that the new Movie Monster Series have with the spines. It has that logo again here with some color. And then the inside looks like this, which it has the silhouette of MechaGodzilla up there, basically material details and legal information and stuff like that. So this is definitely a sweet tag. I really like that it comes with a custom tag for this version. I'm really glad that it wasn't just a recolor of the tag with nothing special on it, but having the unique logos and things like that on there really makes this tag awesome for this figure. And then onto the figure himself. Like I said, this is basically a remold of the old Movie Monster series where he had a spear arm, but they replaced it, and now he has the regular hand instead of a spear arm. So this is basically that same figure if you had one of those when it first came out, which is a pretty good sculpt for MechaGodzilla in this size. I mean, having this MechaGodzilla, because he has so much detail. When this size, they did a good job capturing the detail correctly with him, because the sculpt looks really good on this. All of the little markings and triangles and things that he needs are in the right spots. The tubing in between his joints looks really good as well, and they recreate that everywhere on the figure nicely. And then his spines are really nicely captured as well. They're sculpted very nicely for a 6-inch figure in this line. Even the bottoms of his feet and bottom of his tail are detailed very nicely. His legs are good. This arm is the basic arm, the non-replaced one, and it looks nice. It's very sleek and smooth, whereas this one has all the gears. And then the replacement shoulder, because like this bone is like artificial now. And his neck and head look really good as well. Got those yellow eyes still. Mine has a little bit of a bent horn, but that's okay. I can try to fix that later. All is sculpted well. His teeth are kind of just etched in. His mouth is closed, so that's not a big deal. You wouldn't be able to tell anyways. But this all looks really good. And then the paint is obviously, well, first of all, the vinyl is molded in this kind of very glossy purple, which is why, like, it's because Eva Unit 1 is purple like that. He's mostly purple with some green and black highlights with like a yellow neck, so they painted it like that. So his neck is yellow right here, and then he has a black chest and then some green accents on the front of his body, mostly on the front of his body. The only back green accents he has are actually his little thruster packs right here, and the rest of the back is basically just unpainted, which, yeah, the standard version never had a painted tail, and some of this back here was never painted, but for a special figure like this, I really wish they would have taken their time and actually painted those in, because, like I said, this is a special figure. There's only 4,000 of these, so it really wouldn't have hurt to paint 4,000 of these to have paint in all the spots that it's supposed to. That's really my only issue at this point, is just they could have done a little bit better with that, just the sections that could have had more paint, because looking at the back, there's really nothing except for those little two green thruster packs. But I guess if you're just having him straight on displayed, you're not really going to have an issue, because you won't tell that the back is neglected of no paint. But other than that, the sculpt and the paint is good. It's just nothing on the back is fantastic. It really is kind of just like a display trophy, honestly. Like, if you got one, that's awesome. So, next, we'll get into some size comparisons. Here he is next to the original version of this figure with the standard paint job and then the drill hand. As you can see, it almost just looks like they took this portion right here, because I was matching them up right where this kind of bolt shape is, and just severed it and then re-molded a hand and attached it on there and then made their casts like that. Because other than that, all of this, the rest of the arm is like completely identical. I thought it was just a re-sculpted arm, but I think they just took the hand off and then re-sculpted a hand instead of the drill, because everything else matches up like perfectly. And these are obviously going to be similar size. It looks like it just might be because this is such an older figure, it has slouched over time, but this one is a little standing straighter upper than this one is, but I think it's just because that's older, so it kind of has fallen over the years, since it is a 2004 figure, so it does have some time on it. Here he is next to the new Movie Monster series Shin Godzilla, and then this is the original Toho Kaiju series Godzilla 2000, which is another figure that just got reissued along with this MechaGodzilla sculpt. So you might have gotten the MechaGodzilla and this Godzilla at the same time. And as you can see, this Godzilla is definitely just a massive figure compared to this MechaGodzilla here, because this always was a large figure. It's almost like 7 inches to this spine right on top here, whereas this figure is almost like shorter than the rest of the Movie Monster series line. And then this is the new Shin Godzilla, obviously, and Shin Godzilla is definitely taller than he is. But these two do kind of look cool next to each other, because Shin Godzilla is more like a straight-up Godzilla, which kind of mirrors like his body shape a little more. So these two figures do look nice standing next to each other. Here he is next to the Bandai with the heavy arms in the 8-inch scale and the Banprestro in the same scale. And as you can see, he is definitely he almost looks half as tall because he is short for the Movie Monster series. But his detail is pretty good still compared to these two. Obviously, these have superior detail being in a larger scale, but just to let you guys know how big he is compared to some of the other MechaGodzilla figures you might have in your collection. And finally, here he is next to the Bandai Monster King series MechaGodzilla, which is the final figure I have that got released at the same time as this new re-sculpted Movie Monster series line. And this figure is a foot tall, so you can definitely tell that it is almost exactly half of its height. And then the last thing with this figure is the articulation is pretty limited because it is just a vinyl MechaGodzilla. All you really get is his head will go all the way around, and then his arms do go 360 as well, without them running into anything. and then his tail will spin around as well. There is a joint right here that is unseparated on my old figure where you can get his waist to move back and forth a little bit, but I really don't want to break it on this special figure. And then his bottom parts of his legs are also separate from the top, so if you break that seal, they will swivel back and forth. But I really don't find that necessary on this figure because it's just going to be a kind of a trophy for me. So overall, in my opinion, I really, really love this new figure that just came out. I really love the Evangelion and Godzilla crossover figures. I really wish there was more that would be more of a price range for people who are interested in them, because there's really only this figure, then the SH Monster Arts is coming out, and then the two X Plus MechaGodzillas that are over $300. And then there just was like a new statue that came out that is basically Godzilla with some AVA Unit 1 armor on, and then a AVA Unit 1 painted like Godzilla figure that just kind of came out. It's a kit. And they're all really pricey. And this one is too, which is unfortunate because it's just repainted the Movie Monster series. This figure right here cost me almost around $100 with shipping, everything like that from Japan. But if you guys really like this figure like I do, I definitely recommend you guys go and try to find one soon, because there are only 4,000 of these, so once they're gone, it's going to be difficult to find one again, because they're not as mass-produced as the other figures that you might be used to, because this is a special figure. But I definitely recommend, if you guys are a fan of the Evangelion Godzilla kind of crossover theme that's going on, just go and find one of these now if you really want it, because it's going to cost you so much more in the future to get. But my final thoughts on it are this thing is actually really cool for how simple it is. So, as always, you guys have a great day.